Okay. And yeah, Marcy. What was the difficulty of that debate between me and Wavy?
Yeah, to be honest, I think it was probably negative.
Is that abortion isn't wrong. That's in favor of pro-choice. So I'm just going to be affirming pro-choice, and I have an argument in favor for the position I'm going to be holding to.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, just to be clear for the rec, we're having Marcy judge. He's going to be an immediate judge, not post-rec. Marcy's in the VC, but
All right,
yeah,
bet.
I can give the argument. I don't have it formalized, but I might just type it out in the general chat just so you can like put in like a
Yeah,
truth
that's
seeker or
fine.
something to test the validity.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, basically, the argument is just like along the lines of P1. I only have to syllogize it. If alethic nihilism is the case, then non-cognitivism follows. And that's basically just the argument for why abortion isn't wrong.
And what would be
Non-cognitivism
the
is just a view
justification?
under what's that?
Well,
I was
yeah,
gonna
cool.
cash out
So,
what non-cognitivism is before we like
yeah.
got into anything else and cash out the view.
Oh, yeah, cool. You can catch up the view, but I also have a couple
Yeah.
questions for you as well. But go ahead, do
Yeah,
that.
okay. Non-cognitivism just wants to say moral claims aren't truth apps. You should be familiar with alethic nihilism, so I don't think I have to
Mm-hmm.
explain that.
Yeah. Okay, it's cool. So, I mean, I guess we can go into more into depth here. So one is going to be somewhat of a justification for X here can be indexed in chemical nihilism, how it's going to be more warranted given the issue's rationality towards the dialect. I
Yeah, I
also
got
want you to explain what type of the nihilist properties more in reference to when we card the view, sir.
Yeah, I got you. I have evidence in favor for alethic nihilism. I just take evidence to be reason to believe something. I can motivate alethic nihilism if you want me to. But your second question is like, what am I replacing the truth properties with? What's alethic nihilism?
You said, is that what I'm asking you?
Yeah, I asked if that's what you're asking. What am I replacing the truth properties with? Is that your question? Was that your
Yeah,
question?
sure. I guess that can be some simpliciter was being asked here, sir. But
Okay,
I
cool.
guess more than that,
I can just
I
replace it
should
with acceptability conditions. Like that's pretty
accept
simple.
the baby conditions, and they're just saying that we can accept things that
Yeah,
are
accept something if it follows from evidence.
false from evidence. Okay, cool. So I guess here in the type of talk of reasons and evidence, and you reply to within it all,
Yeah.
or at least
I can.
yeah,
You want me to give the
so
motivation for or
for
like lethic nihilism? Okay, back to the motivation for lethic nihilism. I have four simple motivations. I could just put them in the general chat, or I can read them out loud. Just one, the truth predicate is redundant. Two, truth creates or holding to truth creates paradoxes, which we don't want that. Three, we can explain natural language without truth. And four, clear like truth just has no clear nature. Those are the four ways I intend to motivate elite nihilism. And we
Wait,
can go over them.
hold up. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me or not, but before we get in the type of talk that invokes the motivation for political nihilism, I mean, I'm still somewhat confused on the linguistical structure and the tools that utilize the definitions of X and X to be indexed to the reasons it provides to the evident type of talks there. So when you're saying that we can replace the truth values of political nihilism to more
With
acceptability.
acceptability conditions?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
So yeah, cool. I mean, I don't see how that's going to be somewhat non-problematic. I guess you can get somewhat of a
Where's the
consensual
contradiction?
motivation for that.
Where's the
You said,
contradiction?
what's the contradiction? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
what's
not
the
saying that it
contradiction?
entails. Yeah, cool. I'm not saying that Well, yeah, I'm not saying that there is going to be a contradiction into why it's
And
going to be more problematic. I'm just
yeah,
saying,
I
well,
don't think it's
we can just hold to
I don't
like
even know
this.
what
Like
you
for
take
example,
problematic to be. Well, I don't know what
yeah,
you take problematic to be because if
yeah,
there is no contradiction, it's not problematic. So I'm
yeah.
confused.
Wait, calm. Wait, calm. So I'm saying problematic here. When I'm invoking the tool of problematic, I'm just more of saying, well, we can hold to like a somewhat of a absolute skepticism and just say we can suspend these type of talks and
An
lest they
absolute
invoke into.
skepticism view?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why does that mean my view
Yeah,
is
I was
problematic?
explaining. Yeah, I was explaining. But
And can you
anyways, we
cash
can
out what
just
that
hold
is?
to like, yeah, hold on. But yeah, we can just hold to like a suspensional belief towards the, uh, somewhat acceptability be more warranted that we can replace the truth within ethical properties, right? Wait, calm down. To be clear for the rec, right? You said that we can just replace truth values for like acceptability, something, right?
Acceptability conditions.
Okay, yeah,
Yes. We accept
acceptability
something if
conditions,
it
right? So
follows
what
from
I'm seeing
evidence.
here is, well, we can take an absolute skepticism view and just say, well, it's not going to be the case that we can do such as these things because it'd be more,
In virtue of
somewhat
what?
confusion. I just in virtue of the absolute skepticism view, sir. But
No,
if you're
you
confusing
said
the
in virtue. Oh, you said because of this absolute skepticism view, we can just go against this in virtue of what? Why can we go against it because of absolute skepticism? Why can't my view still succeed with absolute skepticism? Like, what does
yeah, I
that
told you
diffuse
because
about
it
my
would be
view?
problematic.
Yeah, where's the
And by
contradiction?
problematic there, I just mean, well, it could just lay out some type of noblest internal stimuli conclusion that cannot be invoked to
I don't
both
grant that.
interlocutors
What's
of
the
a group
argument
within
for
a
that?
dialect.
I don't
What's
grant
the
that. What's the
argument?
argument? I don't grant that.
Well, if you're more so asking for the argument for the skepticism or absolute skepticism account there, that just
What's
more
the
so
argument for the
corresponds with
last
the
thing you
reasons
said?
to why it's going to be more problematic that we shouldn't do this. It warranted lethal knowledge view. I guess we can say the commitments and ethics and syntactical linguistical structures that formalize towards more epistemically rational for agents to hold to.
Epistemically rational given what priors?
What priors the
Yes, epistemically
commitments within
rational
the
given
views?
what?
I already explained what that. Yeah, I already explained why it's going to be more epistemically
I
rational
already
given the
put it into
commitments within the
question.
view.
I already put everything in the view in question. It doesn't seem like anything you said was
I'm
epistemically
saying that
rational.
I'm saying that agents should hold more, warranty to these views given their rationality. It's more so was being said here,
Yeah,
sir.
what rationality? I don't think anything you said was epistemically rational. Hold on.
Wait,
Yeah,
to be
because when
clear,
we even
fully
talk about,
retake.
hold on, just
Wait,
chill,
hold
bro.
on.
Because yeah, when we even
Yeah.
talk about epistemically rational, we just want to say it means for something to be epistemically rational, given the evidence in the argument which was presented prior, it makes sense to believe this. What prior evidence
Wait,
do we
no,
have to
no,
say your
whoa,
view is more
hold on.
epistemically rational?
Wait, do you think there's a
You have cast
distinction
out my
between
view more than yours. I would like even
no
go to say my view is more
whoa.
epistemically rational.
Yeah, to be clear here, right? Do you think there's a distinction between epistemic humility and more of like epistemic
I don't
rationality?
know what
Because
you
that's
just said, by the way.
epistemic humility.
What epistemic what?
Epistemic humility. Do you know what that is, sir? I mean, obviously, there's
No.
clear.
Epistemic humility is what he's trying to say.
Epistemic humility. I don't know what that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I guess here that agents should more like somewhat warranted the views, or not the views, but the commitments within the view, because the it seems to be the case that they hold to these type of epistemic communities that justifies their
Okay,
someone
justify the seeming.
what
Justify the seeming.
justify this semen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am pretty much right now. I mean,
You said
to
it
be
seems
clear
to be
here
the
more
case.
coherently.
And you said it seems to be the case. It has some
Wait, to be
epistemic
clear.
humility. So justify the seeming. And justify why I'd even
Wait, to be
grant
clear. Wait,
epistemic.
yeah, I got you.
Oh,
Hold
chill,
on.
bro.
Because the
Chill,
justification
bro.
talk is
Chill, bro. I
something.
need to put things into question. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Anyways, for one, I want to be clear for the rec. He hasn't attacked any of the motivations I've given for alethic nihilism to say that
Huh?
just chill, bro. He hasn't attacked any of the motivations I've given for alethic nihilism to say that non-cognitivism would follow from alethic nihilism. But I wanted to put into question, justify the seeming that you like presented, and also justify why I'd even grant epistemic humility and why that actually helped to diffuse my view. Because I don't even know what the commitments of epistemic humility even is, or not the commitments, the contents of the view of the scheme. I don't know any contents of it,
Okay,
so I don't
well,
even know why I grant that. So those are your
okay,
two versions.
one, epistemic community isn't a view at all. No, that's a blunder. But two, I mean, if you think that I haven't motivated anything at all or gauge justification for the view of absolute skepticism, we can gladly conclude from here. I think I
Okay, bet.
gave
I'll
more.
go with you.
All right, that's fine.
For my 1 minute closing, I think I won this debate in virtue of my motivations for alethic nihilism not being attacked. We derailed on to some other random points in which he tried to use to diffuse my view. I put everything into question. I don't think he actually properly, sufficiently put anything on the table. I put into question what epistemic humility even was. That was never cast out. I asked why I'd even grant this. That was never cast out. I asked why that's going to offer up some attack relation to my view. That was also never cast out. I don't know. Like, I don't think he actually properly said anything to actually diffuse my view or offer up any attack relation towards what I offered up. I don't think he did that at all. But that's my reason why I think I
I
won.
guess my closures would just be more simple here. I think I have gave motivation to the absolute skepticism view. once again, just saying that agents should hold and given their rationality commitments can follow their, hypothesis thesis. And then I guess Polar is not yet to justify lethal nihilism at all. I put into question, well, why should we, replace the truth type of talk and just, imply into more I guess, acceptability and warranty to the conditions there. I told him that it would be somewhat problematic if he even were to warrant this, given the fact that the conclusion always would lead towards a noblest and system law, which I don't think he addressed at all. I guess he was kind of confused on the epistemic humility part there. I'm pretty sure I already catch out the Finians, which he didn't catch out at all, but it's on rec, so it's fine. But yeah, it's basically my closings. That'll be debate. Oh God.
All right, Marcy, give verdict and the reasoning for why you think who won.
Okay. I'm just gonna start off with talking about the reasons and then say who I think won. I think the main important part of discourse was when they were talking about, or you guys are saying, essentially the reasons for adopting alethic nihilism. Essentially what happened was you guys talked about there being problems with the view, and Wavy was bringing in some problem that said that if this were true, then it would lead to this other view. And specifically what Polar was saying was it is not problematic given that there's no contradictions. That wasn't ever attacked. That if there was any problems, then it would lead to a contradiction or anything like that. It just seems like you guys are talking past each other when you say that there's a problem for the view. So the problems for the view doesn't really defeat the alethic nihilism motivations. What's more interesting to talk about though is the skepticism part. So the absolute skepticism point, or the more known term for it is a radical skeptic. That view, just saying that well, we can have a disposition towards any sort of proposition. So given that we have any disposition to any proposition, the issue with this is that just gives you reason to say that an agent can have a disposition towards a proposition. But what Polar was more so saying was just that there isn't any actual reason to say that the proposition is false. So even if you have a disposition to the proposition, it still doesn't lead to the conclusion that alethic nihilism is false. So even if you have the disposition, you can still conclude that alethic nihilism is true. So when specifically mentioned that, I don't remember there being any sort of response that actually defeated what Polar said because he brought it up. He specifically said, why is it the case that if, under your view, that alethic nihilism can follow? And then you started getting into epistemic humility, and talked about what's epistemically rational, right? But even say you grant that Polar lost the epistemic humility point and it being epistemically rational, it wouldn't matter because epistemic rationality and epistemic humility is irrelevant to a dispositional account. It wouldn't matter at all to someone being a radical skeptic. So that was completely irrelevant. I'm not even sure why you went on that tangent, but yeah, with all that said, then Polar just won.